I am playing Willy Loman from Death of a Salesman, and he's talking to Howard. He's trying to talk Howard and his boss into letting him stay at home and as opposed to being a traveling salesman.
Very good. Take about large step backwards, please. Good. Anytime you're ready.
Business is business, but let me understand this. I got to let you understand this. When I was a boy, 18 or 19, I was already on the road. But I had this yearning to go to Alaska. But I had to decide whether sales was for me or not. But Alaska, there were 3 gold strikes in 1 month. And I just wanted to get up there and go and look around. So, yes, my father lived up there. He lived up there for many years. And he was an adventurous man. There's quite a lot of self-reliance in our family. And I thought I'd get my brother and our older brother, and we'd go up there, and we'd find the old man, and we'd just hang out and live there for a couple of years. And I'd almost decided to do it until I met this salesman at the Parker House. His name was David Singleman. He was 84 years old, and he was a salesman. I can picture him now in his green velvet slippers, sitting in the Parker House, on the phone, and he drums merchandise in 38 different states. It was amazing. He'd get into his little chair, he'd pick up the phone, and he'd make a phone call, and he'd never have to leave his room. And then when I say that, that's when I realized that selling was the most satisfying job a man could ever have. Who else at 84 could go out and sell things? Just pick up the phone, call 30 or 40 different states, and be answered by somebody who loved him, respected him, and cared for him. Why, when Willy Loman died, when he died, and he died the death of a salesman, in his green velvet shoes, on a smoker, going to Boston, and when he died, there were hundreds of salesmen and buyers at his funeral. But back then, people respected salespeople. There was comradeship, there was respect, there was gratitude. And now, it's not there. There's no personality. There's no friendship. It's all cold, cut and dry. There's no way to bring your friendship or your personality into the sales. And what I mean is, they just don't know me anymore.
Awesome.
I am Bethia from A Raisin in the Sun. The scene takes place when she's describing her passion and desire for being a doctor. When I was very small, we used to take our sleds out in the wintertime, and the only hills we had were some ice-covered stone steps on the houses of somebody's street. And we would fill them in with snow and smooth them out and just ride on them all day. It was quite dangerous, you know, far too steep. And sure enough, one day, a kid named Rufus came down too fast and hit the sidewalk. And we saw his face just split open right there in front of us. And I remember standing there looking at his bloody, open face. And I just knew that was the end of Rufus. But the ambulance came, they took him to the hospital, they fixed the broken bones and sewed it all up. And the next time I saw Rufus, he just had a little line down the middle of his face. I never got over that. That's what another person can do for another. Fix them up, sew up their problems, and make them all right again. That was the most marvelous thing in the world. I wanted to do that. I always thought it was the only concrete thing in the world that a human being could do. Fix them up, help them out, solve their problems, make them whole again. That was truly being God.
Yay.
Speed. All right. Please introduce yourself or your piece and your character.
All right, I'm Trevor, and I'm doing a piece called A Walk Down the Street, I think. And I am a heroin junkie in Manhattan who's just been mugged, and he's sitting in a coffee shop with his friend, sort of recounting the story of how he was mugged. That's pretty much it.
Sounds good. Action.
I mean, I was just walking down the street, and they came up on me like they was important, and they started pushing me around, you know? And they pushed me into this alley, not an alley, but this hallway. And back down the end of that, to this dark place, at the end of the hallway, and they start punching at me. And I just fell into this ball on the floor, so they couldn't hurt me or nothing, but if I came down there with a couple of fighters, a couple of guys, like my friends, it wouldn't have to be you or anything, but just a couple or three guys, like big guys, walking down the street, you know? Just so they could see I got these buddies here. See, I'm on H, I mean, I gotta talk, man, but I'm serious now. Just a few guys and they leave me be, maybe, because they think I had these buddies that looked after me, you know? Because they kicked me up. If I wasn't on H, man, it'd be pains all through me, you know? Walking down the street by myself, I start looking around, wondering who's out there gonna mess me up, you know? I get scared as hell, man, walking down around here. I mean, I can't protect myself for nothing, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know? I mean, if I had these big buddies, fighters, you know, if I had a couple of guys, like big guys that, you know, there's like nothing I could, like, if you walk down the street with these big buddies, fighters, I mean, you could do, man, you could do anything.
Speed. Please introduce yourself, your character, and your piece, please.
My name is Jeannie, and I am doing a monologue, I hope, from Gypsy Rose Lee. And Gypsy Rose Lee was a famous burlesque woman, and she did a lot of stripping on stage and singing, and her mother somewhat groomed her for this. And so I would like to do this monologue.
Before you start,
Pardon?
before you start,
Yes.
confidence. I want to see confidence. Action.
I said, turn it off! Nobody laughs at me because I laugh first at me. Me. Me from Seattle. Me with no education. Me with no talent. That you reminded me so many years of my life. Well, Mama, look at me now. Look where I live. Look at my friends. Look where I'm going. I'm going someplace, Mama. And wherever I go, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be great, Mama. I'm gonna love it. I love it now. Because the first time in my life, it is my life. I love it. I am Gypsy Rose Lee. And I love her. I love her. And if none of you do, then get out. Get out now.
Hello, my name is Christine Miller, and I will be playing a piece from our town. I am a baseball player's girlfriend, and I'm not too happy with the way he's been acting lately, so.
Action.
I don't like the change that's come over you in the past year. And I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame the devil. Up until a year ago, I used to like you a lot. You know, and I used to watch as you did everything because we've been friends so long. And then you started spending all your time at baseball. You wouldn't talk to anybody. Not even your own family you didn't. And George, it's a fact. But you've gotten awfully conceited and stuck up lately. And all the girls say so. But they don't say it to your face. They say it behind your back. And it hurts me when they say it. But I have to admit that I agree with them a little bit. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I'm not sorry I said it. See?
That's how we win.
I'm going to be Lucy from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Give me good volume. Okay.
It's about, she's always bossy to Charlie Brown, and Charlie Brown gets sick and tired of it. So she's talking to Linus about Charlie Brown in front of his face. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, I want to see that good volume. Okay. Action.
Now Linus, I want you to take a good look at Charlie Brown's face. Would you hold still for a minute, Charlie Brown? I want Linus to study your face. Now, this is what you call a failure face, Linus. Notice it has failure written all over it. Study it carefully, Linus. Now, notice the deep lines, the dull, vacant look in his eyes. Yes, I would say this is one of the finest failure faces you're liable to see for a long time.
Good.